comprehension. I didn't mind at all the dub stuff. That doesn't bother me. Some people get really bothered by that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. That the dubbing isn't a problem. Money Heist is dubbed too. I didn't mind
it bothers me a lot because I watch people's mouths.
I watch people's eyes when they're talking.
I'm a mouther too. These masks are. I think my hearing might legit be not what it was. And my father went through that too. I've talked about it, how we used to make fun of him for that. We called him Tad for years, and he didn't know.
You're a mouth looker. Like even in person, you look at the mouth.
Yeah,
interesting.
I need it, and I think that I suffer in like listening comprehension when someone wears a COVID mask more than most are. It's I don't get it. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. I'm half a lip reader.
I have a friend that's not deaf at all, but she can't like process what's being said unless she's looking at the person.
No, so she's retarded.
Basically, yeah.
Me too, though. Yeah.
So it might not be a hearing thing. It might just be like how you learn to process speech. Yeah. Is like you're looking at people face to face, looking at their mouth, seeing what they're saying.
My wife and I have a million times. I'm like, honey, you weren't looking at me. I have no idea what you just said. The words went in the wrong direction.
What are you, a dog?
Yeah, but it's like for one, I need the volume to come in my direction, and two, like I need to see your mouth. I don't know, like
it is easier. Like your brain has that like innate connection to want to be able to take in the whole picture. I guess I'll look at people's mouths if they like have an accent or something because I want to see like how their mouth is moving and like how they're making it. Like that's the easy. Like you just like make your mouth move the same way theirs is, and like look at where like their tongue's placed and everything. Your
fascination about that, and this is like the 50th clue around it, is super interesting to me. Like like I hear you practice accents in the car, when you can do them wrong with no audience and just sort of, and I'm like, I've never done that. That when you watch me do accents on the show, this is all brand new material, guys.
Usually the way it goes is like you'll try a certain voice or impression, and it's like, oh, that one, that's never going to happen. I don't have the chops for that one. And then other ones you'll try and be like, okay, that's not so horrible. And like the easiest way to do it is to just like, oh, I'm going to do a retard voice. Okay, I'll do Nathan from South Park. Like find some or I'm gonna do Jesse Ventura. Okay, well Anthony Cumia already has a perfect Jesse Ventura. How does he do it? Like, I don't know.
It's funny. When you'll teach me how to do accents, you'll say, "Oh, Woody, okay, with this accent, the sound comes from near your teeth, and with this other accent, it comes from deeper in your throat." And I'm like, you're a fucking weirdo. All the sound passes all of those things.
You know how you do the Russian accent all about the back of throat. Very far back, you're pronouncing vowels here. And then Southern, now look at where the vowels are coming out there. It's right at the front. You know what I mean?
This is a foreign language to me. I could do both. Okay, when you're Russian, it comes from the back. and when you're Southern, it comes from the front. I don't think I did.
Kyle, you're nodding. You know what I'm.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
Kyle
about.
Kyle can do it too.
Yeah, it's the way you do your.
Those are my two favorite accents, right? So with the Russian one, you're almost like paralyzing the front half of your tongue anyway, and like almost using the back edges of it to sort of warble. And with the Southern thing, there's a lot of tongue going on, like it's moving around everywhere.
The Southern thing is like the front of the tongue, I think. Yeah, like
Taylor said that too.
Yeah. And there's like a million flavors of Southern.
I got caught shoplifting at the Chevy dealership. Like that's all front of the tongue.
What'd you do? Try to steal a pickup truck?
You're getting into like mountain Southern there.
We're in Kentucky now.
Between two ferns. What's the most powerful thing on your face? It's your nose. Oh, yeah. You can become anyone you want. Does anybody know where I can get me some iced tea? Doing that? I got caught shop. Those were Between Two Ferns was like good early YouTube funny shit. I really liked those. Like the deadpan silliness where like everybody who's watching it knows that it's a put on. Like, but it's funny.
In our last batch of PKA Hangouts, one of the guys, I had stepped away to piss or something, and like one group had gotten replaced with another, and I just heard the strongest Southern accent I had heard in so long, like from across the room through my headset. He's like, "Yeah, I don't know nothing about all that, but I've been down here for about 3 years now." And I was just like, "All right, who the fuck is this? Who is it?"
The guy from Kentucky.
Yeah, the guy
Kyle
from
was
Kentucky.
hilariously like direct about it. He's like, you know what? I used to sound a lot like you, and I've worked hard to stop sounding like you. But you are at an age where you'll always sound like that. It's kind of a curse. And I'm just like, ouch. Oh, okay. So that's what we're doing.
The Kentucky
where he's
Southern
from?
accent?
He's the fucking Shakespeare of his corner of the world, my friend. He told us where he was from.
He sounds like an offensive caricature of someone from Kentucky.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, they're not like that. Nice guy though, I liked him.
Yeah, he was a nice guy for sure, but he had one of those accents where it's like, oh my, this has not been tempered at all.
I used to think that when I hear like impersonations of a Cajun accent or whatever, I'm like, people
Yeah.
are going to find this offensive. You know, like if you do this from a Cajun person and then I see someone doing it to a literal Cajun person, you know, like in fucking Louisiana, they're like, hey, man, that's not where that goes over there now. What are you doing? And like, it's not kind of like that. And it's like, oh God, they're going to get offended. And then they'll reply in that exact same fucking accent. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
that's
Like
just how they sound.
Louisiana, the whole state of Louisiana sounds like they just moved here. Like they just got to America, still figuring out the ropes. But
Pretty much, yeah.
it is like, I mean, there's a million accents across the U.S., but what I think is wild is like the U.K. is so tiny in comparison. Like we have states that are 3 times bigger than the U.K. And even in the
is
U.K.,
bigger, yeah.
they've got like regional accents, whereas I feel like you can drive around the entire state of, you know, you can drive around a huge state and it's all going to be more similar than the UK is. Whereas with cities, where it's like a Manchester accent is grossly different than a I don't know, Birmingham
Yeah.
or whatever.
Birmingham.
Yeah,
Birmingham.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and like it, obviously you know that, but it's because they don't cross pollinate as much. You know, I forget who I was talking to, but someone hadn't seen their father in 2 years because they live so far away. 90 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
90 minutes away, and
You can drive like 4 hours and get to like the east and the west coast of the UK, pretty much like 4 or 5 hours. But then, yeah, the accents will be radically different if you talk to like a UK bartender. So the UK people are alcoholics. So if you talk to a UK bartender, if people come in from like up north, they won't really be able to understand them. You know,
That's
like
so bizarre.
give me a log of that, Matt. Like it'll sound like that in the traditional British area.
Oh, I will say this, like Kitty has me talk to her like creditors and stuff. Like if there's an issue with like the water bill or whatever, she's like, yes, the water bill. And they're like, is there anyone in your household who speaks English, little girl? You fucking cunts. And I'm on the phone. I'm like, yeah, it's the water bill. We didn't receive one this month. There was no what. I'm looking at her in the eyes. Water bill.
Water.
Because it's yeah,
Bottle of water.
we didn't get a water bottle.
And her voice is already like high, and so it's probably even harder. I mean, like what BlameTruth was saying, like, what is that old saying where, like, in the U.S., 100 years is a long time, and in the U.K., 100 miles is a long distance?
Oh, that's good.
Like, not going to see someone because of a 90-minute
Yeah, but that's not really fair, though,
almost
because
3 hours away, and they're in the same state as me.
I don't care where you're from. 100 years is a long time, but 100 miles shouldn't be a long way if you've got fucking roads and cars.
I think they
they have no excuse
and shit.
Their-
Where like
their
you'd be like
cars are
100
shit.
years ago we had this president, and it's the UK is like 1,000 years ago we had this king. Like just